Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant credit card. So I'll be going over the main features of this card by American Express, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive a few free stocks, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least $100. At that point, Webull will be sending you over a few free stocks, which depending on the current promotion they have at this time, will grant you anywhere between, let's say, like $1,000 up to $20,000. Okay, so diving right into the main features of this card. First off, we're going to be discussing points and how you can earn them. So with this card, you can earn up to 21 points per day. You'll be earning 6 points per dollar spent with this card, then 10 points per dollar spent just for being a Marriott Bonvoy member, and then finally 5 points per dollar spent with the 50% bonus points on stays. Then you'll be earning 3 points per dollar spent with this card at restaurants worldwide and on flights booked directly with airlines. And then finally with this card, you'll be earning 2 points per dollar spent on all other transactions. Now, as far as the spend bonus with this card, there's also going to be a spend bonus as well. So as long as you're able to spend at least $6,000 within the first 6 months of having this card, you will be earning a spend bonus of 185,000 points. So you can certainly get a bunch of free nights with that, starting at 5,000 points per night. And as far as the spend goes, of course, on average, that's going to be right around $1,000 per month. So for some people, that might be pretty easy to do. For some people, that might be a little bit more of a stretch. But at this point in time, we are going to go ahead and dive into the other benefits of having this card. So starting out, you will be receiving Marriott Bonvoy Platinum Elite status just by having this card, so that's going to grant you room upgrades, including enhanced views or suites when available, along with some other great perks as well. You're also going to be receiving 1 free night every year after your card renewal. Redemption level is going to be at or under 85,000 points, so that is going to be a pretty good hotel, up to 85,000 points per night. Then also, if you spend $60,000 on eligible purchases, you'll also be eligible to select an Earn Choice benefit. These are going to include either 5 nightly upgrade rewards, 1 free night award up to 85,000 points per night, or $1,000 off a bed from any Marriott Bonvoy retail brand. Then on top of that, you're also going to be receiving a $100 Marriott Bonvoy property credit for qualifying charges at the Ritz-Carlton or St. Regis when you book directly using a special rate for a 2-night minimum stay using this credit card. You're also going to be receiving a $100 fee credit for global entry or TSA pre-check. Then you're also going to be receiving 25 Elite Night credits just for being a Platinum Elite member with this card. And then finally, you're also going to be receiving a Priority Pass Select membership, which is going to give you access to over 1,200 airport lounges in over 130 countries. So now that we went over the main features of the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant credit card, at this point in time, you're going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because of course this is also super important as well. So we're going to start out with the purchase APR. Starting out, your purchase APR is going to be anywhere between 20.99 to 29.99% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as cash advances go, on this channel we normally recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This of course should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. Usually you have a pretty high interest rate on them, plus you're going to be paying a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance with this card, just know that your APR on them is going to be a whopping 29.99%. Plus you're going to be paying a lot of fees as well, which we are going to dive into right now. So as far as those fees go on the cash advances, your fees are either going to be $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever happens to be greater. Thankfully with this card, if you happen to travel abroad, this is a card that you can definitely take with you because there will not be any foreign transaction fees. This is definitely a perk because with other credit cards out there on the market, they typically have a foreign transaction fee of right around 3%. Then as far as late or return payments, if you happen to have a late or return payment with this card, there is going to be a fee of up to $40. Now, if you happen to pay late for the first, maybe even second time, you could always try calling into American Express to see if they will waive that fee. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but it definitely does not hurt you to call in. Typically, they might waive the first time that you are late. However, one thing that I might recommend is to set up auto pay or mark your calendar just to ensure that you have the best chance possible to not pay late. Then as far as some other fees go, if you happen to go over the limit, with that, there will not be an over limit fee, so that's definitely a positive as well. And then finally, the biggest fee with this card happens to be that annual fee, which you will be billed for yearly at $650. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and cons of this credit card. So we are going to start out with the good things. The first good thing, of course, is the fact that you can receive 185,000 bonus points as long as you're able to spend at least $6,000 within the first 6 months of having this card. Now, 185,000 points can either be a few free nights or a lot of free nights at different Marriott Bonvoy hotels and resorts. Once again, you can get a free night as low as 5,000 points per night, and of course that can go up to like 100,000, possibly even higher than that per night. So depending on the night that you're staying, the hotel that you're staying, things like that, is really going to determine how many free nights that you get at Marriott Bonvoy hotels. Then of course you're also going to be getting a lot of credits and free things as well. So you're going to be getting the one free night every year up to 85,000 points. A hotel with an 85,000 point per night is going to be a pretty solid hotel all in all. Plus you're going to be able to get another free night as long as you're able to spend at least $60,000 within a year, which for most people, they're probably not going to be spending $60,000 in a year with this card. Then in addition to that, you're also going to be receiving a $100 Marriott Bonvoy property credit. You're also going to be receiving a $100 credit towards global entry or TSA pre-check. And then finally, you're also going to be receiving a Priority Pass Select membership, which is going to grant you membership to different airport lounges in different countries throughout the world. So those are the good things about this credit card. At this point in time, we're going to go ahead and dive into the drawbacks. So the first drawback, of course, is the fact that you are going to have that massive annual fee of, once again, $650. Now, of course, there are a lot of credits with this card and free things given with this card, which could potentially offset that massive annual fee of $650. However, depending on whether or not you use those credits is really going to determine whether or not this credit card is worth it, which we are going to dive into in just a second. And then finally, of course, this credit card is pretty much going to lock you into Marriott. So if you're more of a Hilton person or you don't really like Marriott hotels, then obviously this credit card is probably not going to be the best fit for you, but it's really going to lock you into the Marriott system. So just to sum things up here, all in all, even though this credit card does have a massive annual fee of $650, you are once again going to get that free night at the end of your first year. You're also going to be getting the other credits with this credit card, such as the $100 Marriott Bonvoy property credit. You're going to be getting the $100 credit going towards global entry and TSA pre-check. So if you use all those credits and you really take advantage of this card, then perhaps it might be worth it. For the first year alone, I would say it's probably definitely worth it just because of all the points that you're going to be receiving. Once again, 185,000 points as long as you're able to spend at least $6,000 within the first 6 months. As far as the second year moving forward, it's really going to come down to how much you use this card, how much you spend, and whether or not you're really going to take advantage of those credits. Me, myself, personally, I recently got the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless credit card. That one has a much lower annual fee, but it has a lot of great perks as well. I'm going to link it up on the screen here if you want to check that one out next. But that's all we have for this review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.